Hello, collective. This is Chad for Artemis Oracle. I hope you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Um, I hope everybody is doing well and safe, staying cool wherever you are. You're staying warm wherever you are. So I want to do a reading for a timeless reading for whenever you happen to come across it. And there may be messages you need to know at this time, something to look out for. It could be somebody around you that may be experiencing this. So please take the messages as they resonate, because they may not resonate with everybody. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Tan. Artemis Oracle is my channel. I'm an oracle and tarot card reader here on YouTube. But I also have Instagram and TikTok. Hey, FinTube, how are you? So let's see what messages you need to know. I'm going into the Revealing the Truth deck. Let's see what messages does the collective need to know. What messages? Pets. I'm doing well, thank you. I hope you're doing well too. The pets. The pet card to me is loyalty, like the loyal friend. Because it says dog, cat, animal friends. But for me, it's like the loyalty card. Let's see what else. Firm, wide awake, clean, decisive. So that's like Queen of Swords energy for me. Oh, ooh, that's funny because, okay. Loss of control came out in the reverse. Okay. You saw it fell out. I just like, it came out. So pet, dog, cat, animal friends. Some of you could have pets, but I try not to read it like literally, because for, like I said, intuitively, like this is my loyalty card, loyal friend. But since it does show a cat, it's also intuition, independence. Firm, wide awake, clean, decisive. You know what I'm getting? I don't know if this is you or someone around you. I feel like somebody's deciding to take control of their life, like knowing what it is that they need to cut out. Because like I said, the firm card to me is like the Queen of Swords energy, and the Queen of Swords is someone who sees the truth, speaks with clarity, speaks with truth, cuts out any illusions that anyone may be trying to present to themselves, but also doesn't allow themselves to be disillusioned by their own thoughts. They see things clearly, So I know this isn't the Queen of Swords card, but to me, this card is like the Queen of Swords, because you see a woman who's there making a firm decision, who's wide awake. In order to be wide awake, you cannot be disillusioned. You have to see things clearly. You have to look at things logically, factually. You don't go by your feelings. You go by what you see, not what you hear and not what you feel. It's like very logical, very intellectual. But it's like someone's making some sort of decision to cut something out. But the fact is, it could be a loyal friend. It could be a friend around you who may be deciding to cut something out. This could be you being loyal to yourself and cutting something out of your life. Trying to get more control over your life, with the loss of control card coming out in the reverse, because upright, it would be reckless, derailment, speeding. So some of you may be taking your time with something, not rushing into something. Maybe some of you may be questioning the loyalty of somebody. Maybe you rushed into trusting somebody, and now you're looking at things from a clearer perspective, or your actions moving forward you won't be as quick to judge. Maybe you won't be as reckless as you have been in the past. This time around, or next time around, you're going to be very firm. You're going to be very, look at the evidence, before you make any decisions. You're not going to allow yourself to rush things anymore, because the loss of control is, to me, it's like that rushing energy, the speeding energy. It's irresponsible. So I don't know if some of you have felt like you've been irresponsible, or there may be somebody around you who has been irresponsible that you may be cutting out of your life. you know, or you may be changing your own behavior so that you can become more responsible, you know, take responsibility, take accountability. Maybe you're holding somebody accountable too. I try to read it in different angles, you know, because everybody's situation is different, you know. So that could be what's going on there. Okay. You know, like the immortality card is like, it's the Scorpio card to me. You know, the Phoenix rising from the ashes. I wanted to say something else. Rising from the axes. I wanted to say that, but that doesn't seem right. But immortality is something that doesn't die. Something that you try to kill. And I'm using like vampires, you try to kill them, but you know, there's a certain way to slay a vampire, right? And if you try any other method than the specific way you have to do it, well, there's two ways actually, right? If you use any other method, then it's going to keep coming back to life. So I don't know if there was something that you kept doing over and over again, but maybe you were trying to do things different. You were trying to change the way you behaved, or change the dynamic, or change the environment, or change something, whatever it is. But it was like something because you didn't want to let it go. But now it's like, it might be time to cut it out for some of you, whatever that is. Or maybe you find a solution that can actually bring something back to life in the right way, you know, in a healthy way. Whatever this is, so I look at this card because it could be something like something ending, you know, because it says pet, and I say it's a loyalty card. Some of you may have a cat. Hopefully your cat, your dog, your pets are okay. They're safe. They're taken care of. And if you've lost a pet recently, I'm so sorry for your loss, because I know the way parents are with their children is the same way people are with their pets. They're their babies. So I'm sorry for your loss. If I don't know if that's a decision you have to make too. Hopefully this isn't a health issue. I know I don't do health readings, but you know, sometimes, you know, like you try to fix certain health issues in a certain way, but then it's like now you're reaching that last resort. Like you've done everything you could, but it's not getting better. So it's now time to go to, I don't want to say extreme measures, but probably now you have to be a little more aggressive with whatever treatment or healing or something you may be experiencing too. But I don't know if some of you, the fact I'm bringing this up is weird, because I thought about a pet. I don't know if some of you, your pet is sick, is not doing well, and you have to make that decision to euthanize. And that is not an easy decision to make, especially when you love your pet. That's why I kept saying they kept trying to keep something alive, you know, like, but because it kept coming back, like it kept doing something. I don't know if something got out of control, and now you know what you need to do to bring it into, you bring more control into the situation or whatever it is. I don't know what this is, because like I said, everybody's situation is different, and not everybody's going to say what it is, and you don't have to, because I'm a Scorpio and I believe it. You should keep certain things private, you know, because the way people are, they will use stuff against you. I know how people are. So that's why I'm like, you don't be putting your business on the internet, you know, unless you don't care if somebody tries to use it against you, you know, because then you've already like come to terms with it. Like, yeah, and what? So that's why I respect people's privacy. You don't have to, if this resonates with you, you don't have to put it in the chat. You know what's so weird? Because underneath, and I was looking at this earlier, and I was like, this isn't making sense to me. But now it's starting to, because it's like you did everything you can, and it's like nothing is resulting from it. There's nothingness. And then, like it says, death, meaninglessness, erasure, forgetfulness. But I don't think it's that. I feel like it's more like you did everything you could, and nothing is working. So now you have to make a very firm decision about something. But whatever it is, it's meant to bring you comfort. Like it will bring you comfort in the end, you know? I don't know if it's, I don't know if somebody is sick around you too, because it could be that. And oh my God, I cannot imagine. I remember when my grandmother was in a hospital and we were hoping, but then it was like deep down inside, I already knew she was gone. I already knew it. But it's like we were hoping anyway. So I don't know if that resonates with anybody. But it's like, I the fact that I brought that up, for some of you, letting this person go or letting your fur baby go is what's going to bring them comfort, because probably there has been some level of suffering that they've been experiencing. That's not for everybody, okay? I had to share that. Like I see this some people, they say the pets, they're like the pet owner, but people don't think of their pets that way. They think of pets as family. But it does say owner, but crown. It's like it's your decision to make, because you are the parent of the pet. You are like the daughter or son of the person. I don't know what that is, and that's so macabre, and I don't, but it's like it's seeming like it's like the right time to do it, whatever it is. If that resonates with you, if some of you needed that confirmation, then that's your confirmation right there. But I don't know how that resonates with everybody. Like I said, I'm an intuitive reader, and then sometimes I get these hits, these dings, and I'm like, where the fuck is this coming from? But it's for somebody. So somebody needed to hear that message. I'm so sorry. I can't imagine having to make that decision. You know, it's easier when it happens on its own, where you don't have to be the one that says, okay, you know, you send off on the paperwork and you're like, yes, do the DNR, or do the euthanization, or, you know, pull the plug, that type of thing. I don't know what that's like. It's easier like when it just happens, like the person dies or passes away, or your pet passes away while they're sleeping or anything, because it kind of takes that responsibility off of you. But for some of you, you have that burden. And I cannot imagine how difficult that must be for you. So I'm so sorry for you having to be in that, to find yourself in that position. Because I cannot fathom it. And I don't even want to imagine that, you know? So that may be something that has happened already, maybe coming up, or maybe going on around you, you know? So I hope that helps somebody. Sorry. Another thing that came up right now, it's if when you get to make that decision, it's also going to bring you comfort, because it's you being at that point where you accept that it's time for something to end, you know, with whatever is ending, whatever you have to decide to end. And it doesn't have to be as drastic as a pet or a family member or anything like that that's in a hospital and maybe passing away, or maybe at that verge. But it could also be something you have to remove out of your life, you know? But it's like doing that is going to bring you, well, not for everybody, because at first it's going to be difficult, but it's for some of you, it may bring you a sense of comfort, you know? Because you know, oh my gosh, this is not making sense to me. For some of you, you may not have had the chance in the past to say goodbye to somebody, but it's like this time around you do. And that also brings you comfort. Because maybe something like this happened in the past and you weren't able to say goodbye. But then this time around, you're like, I'm able to say goodbye. I don't know why that, okay. Thank you. All right. Let's see. That was different. That was different. Okay, I'm gonna go back into this deck to see if something else comes out, okay? Spirit angels guides. What messages does the collective need to know for the highest and greatest good? What messages does the collective need to know? What truths need to be revealed to the collective? Okay, what other messages the collective needs to know? What new message? Another message? A separate message? What was what other message does the collective need to know? What other truths need to be revealed to the collective? If you're new to my channel, my name is Tanya. I'm an Oracle and Tarot card reader. My channel is Artemis Oracle. If the message resonates with you, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's see what the messages you need to know. So funny, I see a dog right now. I see a lot of dogs around here. Yeah. Oh, this is so cute. Okay, okay. Drinks came out. Liquor, coffee, tea, water. Let me know what you're drinking right now. I have an iced coffee. That probably tastes terrible right now because it's just sitting there with the ice melting. Okay. Whew. Snake, lie, poison, fertility. Oh my God. Are you drinking poison? Hopefully, maybe I am. Hot, popular, focus, explosive. To me, this card is like the anger card. It's arguments card, heated discussion card. Oh man, why I gotta get messages like this? Commitment, oath, agreement, pledge, promise. Did I look at the bottom of the deck last time? Yeah, I did. Resurrection. Duh. Okay. Drinks, snake, fertility. If some of you are trying to get pregnant, I would suggest stop drinking. Okay? That's not gonna help. That is not gonna help. That was a sign message, okay? I don't know if somebody is having an argument about somebody and they're drinking. And then maybe, I don't know, like why I'm thinking, because I did read fertility. It says lie, poison, fertility. But the fertility word stood out to me. So if some of you are wanting to get pregnant, and please, I know not everybody can get pregnant. Not everybody wants to get pregnant. So that message is not for you, okay? That's why I'm saying the ones that want to get pregnant, lay off on the drinking. Be careful what you're drinking. If you are pregnant, some of you may not even know you're pregnant. Stop drinking. Like if you missed your period or something, take a pregnancy test because some of you may be out there. I don't know who this is for, but somebody may be out there pregnant and they're drinking and they don't even know, or somebody might be pregnant and they're drinking and they know they're pregnant. Like, you're poisoning your baby. So chill with the alcohol. Remember, there's the fetal alcohol syndrome. That's no joke. So take care of yourself and take care of your baby. I will say this too, beware that some of you may go out for drinks and then you may, end up having, I don't know, if you catch somebody in a lie or something. You know, usually when people drink, their inhibitions drop and then they expose things. So for some of you, I don't know, like beware. Well, you know what? If somebody's drinking and they tell you the truth, you know, like the truth is going to come out, right? So if it comes out that way, then that's the way it's meant to come out. But I would say just be careful, because something may be coming out because somebody was drinking, and then it may lead to some sort of argument, maybe an explosive argument. Also, if you know if there are people who tend to drink and then they get angry when they're drinking, then I would suggest that you kind of stay away from those people when they are drinking, so you don't have to deal with their wrath. Because it says lie, poison, fertility, right? But the thing is, like, poison, toxic behavior. I don't know if this is somebody that you're in a committed relationship with. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It could be like you work with this person, you know, you have a business partnership, some sort of agreement. That could be something that may end up being argued about. So I would just say beware of that. I ask Spirit for clear, concise messages. Like, these are the messages I'm getting. Yeah. So beware. Like, if you're taking medication, please be careful with alcohol. Okay. You don't want to have some sort of reaction. Okay. I don't know if it's a reaction where you could break out, or like you get a rash, or like it does something to you. I don't know if something that's hot. I don't know, like something burns, something uncomfortable. That is so weird. But at the bottom it says commitment, and then there's apple. Commit. Like, I don't know if some of you are like, did I just spit on myself? I think some of you may need to make some sort of promise to yourself, because it could be like stay away from certain people who do get a certain way when they are drinking, or you promising to, you know, you realizing how you get when you drink, and now you have to commit to not, you know, make some sort of agreement or oath to yourself to stop drinking, to avoid any situations that may make it tempting for you. Temptation. Oh, another thing too is, like, if you're someone who does drink and you get like aroused, some of you need to be careful too, that you might end up doing something that could fuck with your commitment. Like, if you are in a relationship or marriage, you might do something. So beware of that, because it's going to bring some sort of ending, you know? Yeah, see, depravity, seduction. So beware, like, of that. Beware of anything that may be tempting towards you, because that could cause some sort of argument. You might get somebody pregnant, or you might get pregnant if you can get pregnant. Remember, it's if you can, and if you know, you don't take precautions. So beware. Ooh, okay, that's interesting. Just beware. This is not the type of messages I wanted to do on a Sunday, you know. Maybe I should start off with the Archangel Michael. Yeah, see, I saw the encounter card. Yeah. It says, meet by chance, love at first sight, crush. But look at that. No, I thought it said something else. Okay. Okay, this might be something different. Because I thought this said addiction, but this is totally different energy. For some of you, there could have been somebody that you met, that you meet by chance. You may like be enthralled by them. You know, you may think that it's love at first sight. You have a crush on them or whatever. But the thing is the ascending card. I don't know if you're already connected to this person and your relationship is going to be leveling up. It's going to be, like it's going to be promoted from like, like we're just talking, we're getting to know each other until like a level where you're exclusive, like you're only seeing each other, or if you're already with this person and you're already exclusive, you could decide to move in together or decide to get married, that type of thing. But it's looking like that, level up, promotion, progress. So some sort of encounter. Now, another thing too that came up is like some of you could be meeting somebody and they may be able to help you level up when it comes to your career and your finances. Okay, so that might mean something to you. Like this could be a person that could help you with getting either promoted in a job that you're already in or going into a position where you would have a higher title and higher pay. Like you have experienced some sort of level up in your life, Another thing too is you could be meeting somebody, right? And they're also inspiring you to make positive changes in your life. Maybe they're making you realize there are certain things in your life that you need to move away from, that you have outgrown, because it could be that. Somebody could, how some people, they could trigger you to want to become better, because they inspire you, they show you something that you didn't know before, or they show you like a different way of thinking, a different way of being or something, like somebody who's just inspiring, motivational. So you could be ascending in that way. It could be like a personal ascension. It could be ascension within a relationship, or it could be an ascension within your career and your finances, So you're very welcome. Good luck. Thank you. So that's something so you may be meeting somebody and they may help you improve your life, help you ascend in whatever it is that you want to see positive changes in your life. It could be spiritual, it could be physical, it could be emotional, mental, it could be career, it could be within love, however that resonates. But I gave you all the scenarios that that came to mind. Okay, I hope that helps somebody. I should have clarified that more. It's just that I didn't bring the right tarot deck with me. I mean, I could still use that tarot deck, but I have to prepare it. Okay. You know what? I kind of want to know what that is. I'm going to fish the cards out of the deck. I want to know what that is. Because those other messages were like, but somebody need to hear it, Let's see. So I want to clarify those two cards, the ascending and the encounter card. So thank you for the likes. I hope everybody's having a good day so far. If you're new to my channel, my name is Tan. Welcome. Wrong. Not shuffling correctly. That was a bad shuffle. Okay. Tell us about the person that the collective may be encountering, because these messages may not resonate with everybody. So the clarification is to narrow it down. Okay, so who is this person the collective is meeting? Okay, I got the Three of Wands. This person could have Aries. It could be an Aries sign, a fire sign. It doesn't have to be. They could just embody that energy. But the energy is somebody who's expansive, someone who thinks about the future, who's future forward, who plans for the future, takes actions that leads to future growth. This is someone who is confident. Yeah, see, I said expansion and growth. They look ahead, yes. And this is someone that's confident in themselves. What else? They're very growth oriented. Yes, yeah. Two of Wands. Yeah, this is somebody who takes actions. They not only talk the talk, they walk the walk. You know, with the Two of Wands. This is a person that could take the risks too. This is also Aries energy, but it's fire sign energy. Remember, we embody all the energies depending on the situations we in. It's like, I call it energetic code switching. You know, if there's certain things that you need to act on, then you're working on your fire energy. If it's you getting in touch with your emotions, that's water energy. If you have to employ your intellect, that's air energy. You know, and when it comes to like your money, your resources, your finances, your home, that's earth energy. Okay, so this is somebody who is very action oriented. They take actions. Whatever actions they take is with the expectation that it's something that's going to grow from it. You know, but they definitely are someone that likes to take risks. They're planner. Anything else? But this person could simply be an Aries. But remember, we embody all the energies depending on the situations we're in. Wow. So we got Page of Cups with the Knight of Wands. And oh shit, I got another card underneath. And the Queen of Pentacles. So this is someone who is very curious about their emotions. They explore emotions. They're open emotionally. They may be a little bit emotionally vulnerable too. And whoever this person may be coming towards you may have that. They may come to you with that bit of vulnerability. But then there's someone that has a lot of, someone could be very passionate about something, but the emotional vulnerability could still exist, because you could be like, go after what you want, but then it's like, what if it doesn't go right, But the Knight of Wands is someone who's very passionate. They're a go-getter. Always on the move, always on the go, have a lot of energy and very charming. But then also this is someone who is stable and secure with the Queen of Wands. They nurture what they want to grow. But like I said, this is somebody who has a growth mindset. They follow their emotions, they follow their heart. They take necessary actions when they need to, right? Necessary actions still. But with the hope of growth, stability, security, that's what they have in mind. So it could be a water sign, it could be a fire sign again, but it could also be an earth sign. Okay, but now we're going to narrow it down to the ascending. I saw the Empress card right here. I'll show you. The Empress. The Empress is about growth, creativity, abundance. So let's see what this ascending is. I'm looking at the time frame cards. We're in August now. But I see June, July, October, November, February, March. I see August, September, and March and April. Let me see. November and December. So it could be those signs, seasons, like any water sign season, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, any fire sign season. We're currently in Leo season, but Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We also have Virgo with the earth sign. So that's August, September. And then we have Aries, which is March and April. So let's see what this ascending is. What does this ascension have to do with? Six of Wands has to do with success and victory. Remember, I said level up, promotion, progress. Somebody that can help you level up. There may be some sort of level up, like I said, but Six of Wands is about victory, success, triumph. Also being proud of yourself, being at a place where you're proud of yourself. We got the Six of Swords. So it's like moving away from any conflict, any disagreements, heartbreak, sadness, indecision. You know, finally making the decision and moving towards peace. But moving or making moves to just move away from stuff that hasn't been working for you. So we got 6-6 showing up. So June 6th, 66. Okay, what else for ascending? But Six of Swords is also about moving on, you know, with a level up, a promotion. You're moving on from one thing and you're moving on, but you're moving up. So it's like leaving something behind, but going towards something greater with the Six of Swords and the Six of Wands showing up. You're leaving behind something for something greater. So that's like indicating some sort of promotion, a raise, or like maybe even moving to a new job. Because you could be leaving a job. Five of Swords, it's like some sort of conflict, you know, even some sort of negotiations too. But it says arguments, disputes, aggression, bullying, conflict, intimidation, hostility, stress, you know. And the Six of Swords is like going towards peace, moving away from anything that has been mentally exhausting, stressful, draining. But going, for some of you, it could be like, I don't know if you felt like this is a situation that you couldn't move away from. Take this as it resonates, because I was reading this totally different earlier, but for someone, you probably felt like you couldn't really move away. You probably felt like you were stuck. But it's saying that you're going to be moving away from something. You're going to successfully move away from something. But what is this? Because I was trying to see if this is like specifically what it is, because it could be a relationship, it could be a job. Maybe it could be a home issue too, like you may be moving away from home. Well, let's see. Can I get more for ascending? What is this about? Let me see. Is this about career? You can take the message as it resonates already. I'm just trying to dig a little deeper. Ouch. So what is this? What was the Five of Swords? Let's see what the Five of Swords was. Because, you know, wait, if it's, like I was saying, negotiations, but sometimes too, you can have some sort of argument about something, you know, in a relationship or a friendship. Temperance, Sagittarius energy. It's bringing peace and balance to a situation, right? Which is the Six of Swords. Restoring balance. It could be a reconciliation. It could be moderating something. But I feel like it's more peace and balance, calm. Remember, I said it could be spiritual. I feel like it could be spiritual for some of you too. Like maybe this person you encounter is someone who is grounding, who is loving, but also is inspiring. You know, they inspire you. Emotionally open, but they're very, that Queen of Pentacles energy is grounded. So it could be the King of Swords. Someone who's honest, has integrity, disciplined, has morals. And they probably spend a lot of time alone. I don't know if this is someone that makes you realize you spend too much time alone and then you need to come out more, you know, or maybe you need to find more peace. I feel like this is general. It's not really a love. It's not really, I think it's general. It's like, it could be for anybody who resonates with the message as it is, because it's not giving me love. It's not giving me is so I think this is just a general reading that can apply to so many different situations. So I think I read it as much as I could. So right now I'm beating a dead horse. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I would like to do a love reading. This coffee tastes like shit. I don't know what he did. I said less ice. I think he put less ice for more water. Terrible. Es terrible. Okay, let's do a love reading for the collective. Love reading for the collective. What does the collective need to know about love? What does the collective need to know about love? What does the collective need to know about love? What does the collective need to know about love, spirit, angels, guides? Okay. Let's see. What message does the collective need to know about love? Oh, peace. You know, peace is so priceless. Anything else? Breaking point. Because the first card we have is breaking point. Limit, final straw, overwhelmed. Like some of you, I don't, so this is a love reading. Some of you could be in this point with a relationship where you've reached the final straw with something or someone. I feel like it's someone. Or it could be something in the situation that maybe you try to accept, but it's like you're going against yourself, and it's like you're fucking with your own peace. This card want to come out. Shocking. Turmoil, trouble, unexpected. That's like the tower energy. Like for some of you, you're gonna reach your breaking point with something. It's gonna happen where you are gonna reach that point where you're like, F this, I'm done. You know? But because you're gonna realize your peace is so much more important than staying connected to something that has been stressful, that has been disturbing your peace, that has you overwhelmed, anxious. But chemistry, attraction, spark, and passion. Okay, what is that point? Ooh, let's see. You know, there could be somebody. Wow. Okay. What I'm getting is like there could be somebody. Yeah. Clarity came out with peace. I think somebody, like outside of what I just said, because it could be anything. Remember, the more cards I add, it's going to add more messages. So whatever message I said, that may resonate with somebody. What I'm adding now may resonate with somebody else. Just so people understand how tarot and oracle cards work. Okay. So I feel like somebody has a crush, attraction to someone, and it's getting to the point where they cannot hold it back anymore. And somebody, I don't know if somebody was in denial, like maybe like, oh no, this can't happen, or oh yeah, that person doesn't feel the same way about me, or oh, like, but then it's like they get to a point where like, okay, like what if, like somebody's being honest with themselves with the clarity card. It says truth, intentions, and honesty. So someone could be like realizing or having this clarity that maybe, I'm gonna say it could be mutual. Like these are mutual feelings. That could be what's shocking too. I got the hopeless card coming out. Sinking despair, falling apart. Sinking despair. Let's see. Shocking, hopeless. I feel like, because the hopeless card came out, I feel like somebody's real, like I said, that this person probably was saying to themselves, oh, I don't know if this could happen, or like the person feels the same about me or whatever. So there was like the sense of hopelessness this person may have been experiencing, but now they're seeing things clearly, I don't know if somebody, if it's back to that negative thing where like, you're like, somebody's reaching the end point with somebody where they're like, yo, this is too much stress. This is too overwhelming. There's constant arguments. There's a lot of hurtful words. There's resentment there. And somebody's like reaching that point where like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. Because like I said, the peace. They're saying things, they're like, yeah, they're saying the truth of the matter. The situation could be hopeless for somebody where they may like decide, to move away from something. It's like being at the point of no return. I don't know if something happened that made somebody be at this point where they've like reached that point of no return. No clarity, chemistry clarity. Now, for some of you, I mean, like some situations are hopeless, like chemistry can only do so much in a relationship, but if there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of toxicity, a lot of stress in a situation, then that's leading to a lot of bitterness, a lot of resentment, saying mean things to each other, intentionally hurting each other. Ooh. Oh, okay. Now, see, I'm thinking about a song, and it's called Stop the World. And in that song, thank you, good luck. Thank you so much. I was like, there, I should use my points. Why I had bought this trash? The song, Stop the World. When we're not together, we're hurting each other. So for some of you, I don't know if you're separated from this person. And the separation is like, it's bringing in a lot of tension. That song popped up in my mind. Second thought, I can't get enough. And I want us to collide. Till we finally be one. Always stands up, cause we know what we want. It's impossible to try. That song is in my head. It's called Stop the World. Like for some of you, you could be in separation, and you not being together makes it very difficult. Like you can't deny that you want. I don't know if something happened, something that just like broke you up, caused like no contact, a breakup or something. But the thing is, like, The separation, like like I keep saying, whenever people go like no, like ghosting or no contact or whatever, like ghosters, though, that's not cool. Okay, I'm talking about people that like, go no contact. You know, like just things just start to fade away or whatever, or there could be certain distance, or you just like an actual breakup or whatever it is, because everybody's situation is different, right? Um, the separation is like it's like making someone feel hopeless. Um, I don't like some of you could have had an argument, and that's why you're not talking to each other. Hi.
So,
It's okay.
come on, guys. Let me know. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, they're so cute. Two dogs came up to me. Yeah, so somebody there could have been some sort of argument where words were said and then it caused some sort of no context situation. But then it's like maybe somebody's reaching that breaking point that they cannot take it anymore. Like, and remember, it's everybody's situation is different, but this is could be a different message for someone. And the passion, the spark, the attraction that you have for each other, the love for your I'm like, is there love? Look at this, the loyalty card. And look, a dog came up to me. And it was a little black dog, a little dark. He was dark. He had dark fur. I think he was black. He had black fur, and he came up to me. Yeah, there's loyalty in this. It's just that something. I think somebody's saying things clearly. They want to bring peace to the situation. Just so you know what I'm talking about, because the way I have the cards laid out, I want to show you. So I don't know if you could see it. How I have the cards, breaking point, peace. I don't even know if you could see that. Can you? So the clarity card and the peace card are like stacked. You know, like but it's peace and clarity, peace and clarity. So somebody's saying things clearly. They want to bring peace. If there was an argument, like where somebody says something out of turn, they hurt somebody's feelings. But then this separation is the breaking point. Like someone's like, I can't take this anymore. I can't take this anymore. Someone could be feeling hopeless. There's definitely, like I said, loyalty, but then conflict. Yeah. You know, you could have arguments with people you're loyal to. You know, if you never had an argument with a friend, I mean, is that a good thing though? I mean, because we don't always agree with everything with our friends. You know what I mean? But that'd be awesome. I think that it's possible to. But conflict could be just disagreements. It doesn't have to be an argument. I think you don't see eye to eye. That's normal, right? It's clashing differences and compatibility. You know, divine feminine. We got the yin energy, feminine energy, healing underneath. Releasing, purifying, cleansing. You know what? This is reminded me of a card. This is a blessing in disguise. I remember a couple of readings ago, I don't know when I did this, but I said sometimes, you know, you need a break because the space between you and another person allows there to be like, you kind of like detach from those emotions, like, or at least you're out of the situation and you get to look at things from a different perspective. You start to see things clearly because you're not in the energy or that environment that is causing you to feel stressed out or anxious or worried or whatever. But the time and space brings clarity. You know, for some of you, you could be like, yeah, this is a situation that I don't want to continue with, or this is a situation that I don't want to give up hope. Or some of you may be like, wow, you may be thinking a situation is hopeless or a situation actually is hopeless. Remember, it could go either way. You know, we have different stories. We have different experiences. We have different shit going on in our lives. You know, some people are able to reconcile and some people it's just so bad that it's impossible or it's unhealthy to try to. But the loyalty card to trusting, reliability, believing. Because it's normal to have disagreements. Like, so some of you could have had, like, I said an argument or something, right? Resentment, conflict. So there was something that was said. I don't know if it was, You're dealing with a divine feminine, like it's just a feminine energy, or you are the divine feminine dealing with a masculine, you know. But um healing perspective, look at that underneath, healing perspective. um Twin flame too. Some of you may resonate with that twin flame connection type thing. But there's definitely sorrow, time, possibilities, influences, realizations, which is epiphanies, clarity, understanding. You know, somebody wants to apologize. Somebody wants forgiveness. Somebody still daydreams about the other person. Somebody could have blocked somebody with the boundaries card. You know, somebody could have blocked somebody, but somebody still does daydream, fantasize, maybe even having dreams. Someone is feeling lonely and isolated. But like I said, it's like with this time and space, it's what's allowing there to be some clarity to set in, some sort of epiphanies and realizations, you know. Um, Sometimes, like I was saying, you could be in a situation, like in the argument, around the person that's causing you these emotions, and it's influencing and clouding your judgment, you know. But like I said, and remember, please take it as it resonates. I would never tell somebody to go back to someone who was abusing them. I would never say that. I would never tell somebody to do that, you know. Somebody wonders if it's possible, if too much time has gone by, um, to make amends is hope lost. Someone's definitely regretful, sad, but like with the time, the space, it brings perspective, it brings clarity, epiphanies, understanding, you know. But like I said, you can't be in the situation because it clouds your judgment and influences you, and influences your emotions, your actions, the way you think, your logic, you know. But however that resonates, oh yeah, somebody. Remember, I said somebody probably blocked somebody, and I'm honest. Sometimes when I get in a situation where I'm like not liking somebody so much, like they're on my shit list, then this closes out. So somebody could be blocking their heart, you know, closing their heart to somebody with the open heart. But somebody needs to open up the heart if they want some reunion or reconnection. Thank you, Alpha. Hope you're doing well. So somebody needs to be receptive, you know, somebody needs to be vulnerable. Somebody needs to be understanding too, you know. I don't know what happened in this situation. Ew. Yeah, I feel like somebody definitely was like resisting, but they're reaching that breaking point. Like they can't take it anymore. Like it could have been that too, like within the connection, you were like trying to resist the fact that sometimes some things need to come to an end, right? And you realize, okay, you know, my peace is more important than being in this stressful situation that's not doing me any favors, right? But then for some of you, it could be like that resistance of not wanting to reach out from you or them. Remember, take it as it resonates. But somebody needs to open up their heart. I don't know if somebody felt like they were abandoned. I don't know if some of you have a family with this person too, with the family abandoned card, and they've got the resistance. And I did mention stress. So there definitely is stress in this situation. But somebody definitely has disappeared, has ghosted. No contact, no communication. Some of you may not even know where the hell this person is because the elusive card is at the bottom of the deck. You know, you don't even know if this person was being honest with you, and that could be what it is too. There may have been a question to someone's loyalty. Remember we saw the loyalty card earlier? But I feel like for some of you, this person could be loyal. This person could be somebody that's worth a second chance, you know? Somebody may be wanting that. But remember, you got to do what's best for you. If your peace is disturbed by somebody and the idea of going back to them is just like going to take you back into a time or place where you were unhappy, you were stressed, your hair was falling out, you're breaking out, you're gaining weight, you're not sleeping well, you're anxious, you're like a crackhead, you know, like you don't know what, you know, then you know it's not for you, you know. But if this is a type of connection where you are open and willing to be vulnerable with each other. You're able to talk honestly, transparently. I say transparency is more valuable than honesty because someone could still lie while being honest. Transparency is like putting all your cards on the table. Honesty is when somebody asks you a question, you answer it honestly, but there could be certain information that you withhold, you know, that influences the validity of your honest answer. You know what I mean? So transparency is king on my channel. Transparency is king. Honesty, no. I like transparency for me, you know. I want transparency for everybody, you know. It's good to know where you stand in certain situations or with people. But it's like you got to do what's best for you. A card fell. Bitterness. Some of you, if you still holding on to a grudge, but you still want this person back, you cannot be in that energy. You know, you're gonna have to. If this person wants to come back and you still like butthurt about something this person did or said, then you have to talk to them, tell them what bothered you, why it bothered you, and see how they are, how receptive they are to the message. Are they someone that tries to shift the blame onto you, or are they someone that takes in what you're saying and then they say, okay, you know, then I'll try not to do that again, you know, and they make the changes, you know, or this is how you know if somebody's going to be worth reconciling with, you know, if they're willing to listen to what you say and not get defensive about it, you know. Because remember, it's when somebody does something to you, it's how it affects you, and you're letting them know. But then if they're like, oh, they feel like it's not about them. It's about what they did that did something to you, and you're like calling them out on it. And if they get defensive about it, then why are you getting defensive? You know, I'm just telling you what you did and how it affected me. If you care about me, you'd be like, okay, well, you could say this. The person could. I'm not gonna say well, because somebody could be listening. Like, yeah, tell me, what should I say? Yeah. Let me fuck this bitch over, you know, like, tell me what I should say. You know, you will know, okay? The way they respond is how you know. If they're receptive or they get defensive, you know? If they get defensive, then you already know. You can even question their defensiveness. Why are you getting defensive? I'm just telling you that you did or said something, you know, like when you did this and it made me feel that way, why are you getting defensive about it? You know, this is about my feelings and how something you did affected me, you know. How they respond, that's how you're going to know. I'm learning a lot of stuff. I'll be watching Lisa Bilyeu, I think that's her name, Bilyeu, Woman of Impact. I know there's other channels, but for some reason, like she was popping up in my feed for some reason. I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch this stuff. And it's interesting. I always say, woman, check that channel out. Men, good men, check it out too, so you can have an understanding of how not to come off as creepy, you know, if you're not creepy, you know. Have an understanding of why certain women are the way they are, why they may never be receptive to you, how you may be turning them off, or even learn things about women that may turn you off, you know. Oh my God, that be a bad man, Alpha. That's your choice. But don't be a bad man to me, okay? That's why I'm not like, I'm keeping away from you. Because I know, I'm like, you're not going to do that with me. You're going to end up in the Hudson River. You know how you could be a bad man, but in a good way? Don't like, just be very selective, you know? Oh my God. Oh, okay, that's good to know you can swim. Because you have to be selective. Okay? You know, women, they tell us to be picky, but I feel like men should be too. Men should be picky too. What time is it? It's 1:05. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. No. I'm not going to talk about that with you. Stop it. Trying to decide what I want to do next. Now, these cards, I don't really like shuffling them like that. That's not a bad man, though. Unless you're going down the street pulling random people's hair. That's a bad man. You know, I was watching this video yesterday, and it was with, her name is April Mason, and she was talking about how women need to be more feminine, and there's a way to be, like, you can still be feminine, but you can still have that "don't fuck with me" vibe, you know? And one of the things that she talked about was like, one thing she would never do when she's dating a man or like talking to a man or whatever. Well, I will say dating, because you would never ask a random man, like, what are we? You know, but like, don't ask that question. What are we? Because she gave the example that men, when they're successful, they go after what they want. If they're not putting that energy towards you in that way, then clearly they don't want you. And I'm like, okay, that makes a lot of sense, you know? That makes sense. But the thing is, it's like, then why the hell are you talking to me? You know? But the thing is, like, that's where we fuck up, because we entertain these people. You know, if we want more and the guy isn't showing us that they want the same thing, like they want a relationship or to grow something or build something together, and they're not taking the actions to reflect that, then we know those are not the people we should be wasting our time on. But the thing is like, we think we're so special that we will change a man, that we can change a man, you know, but no, we can't. We can't change men. Okay. Has to be consensual for whoever you do that with, okay? It is so interesting what she was talking about, because it's like I'm watching a bunch of videos and it's like I'm putting everything together. And there was something else she said. Yeah, like we can, like, if as soon as we know somebody's intentions, that we should be like, yeah, you know, this is it. You know, it's nice knowing you. You know, me and you, we don't want the same thing. So I wish you all the best with your endeavors. Like you do when you get the rejection letter, like for a job. Oh, thank you so much for your interest in this position. We have decided to go with a different candidate. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors. We had to do that too. You know, like once we know, like, yeah, this isn't a person that's on the same page with us, then we shouldn't be entertaining them. But like, thank you, next. You know, it's sad though. Like, it sounds like you have a conveyor belt of with the guy, a next guy coming in, which is not how I operate. I'm not open that way, you know, and which is a good thing for me. But I know, like, some people, they do online dating and stuff, and that's, I guess, the conveyor belt. Like, okay, you're next. Who's next? Okay, so let me see what I want to do. those messages were helpful to you all in some way. If it doesn't resonate, it could be something that's going on around you too. But, sometimes it isn't, I was talking about like one time I was with somebody and I thought he was cheating. I really don't think he was. I don't think he was. I think it's just I was sensing my sister's situation. And I didn't even know it because like we're so busy with our own lives. And I didn't know what she was going through. And then she told me, when I learned, I was like, what the fuck? Because I'm going to tell you this. The guy I was with before, the one I broke up with in last February, he did the sweetest thing. And I'm like, why the fuck would I? Like now I'm getting like I'm getting a different perspective about the relationship. Because I think I was so screwed up mentally and emotionally, and it's because I couldn't discern my own feelings from other people's feelings. And it's like having to understand that I had to create boundaries so I could know what's mine and what isn't. And in this situation, like he did like the sweetest thing for me. Like he freaking brought me an air conditioner because it was like we were having like a heat wave or something. And I told him I don't have an air conditioner, that my fan I had to buy a new fan because it wasn't working. And I'm someone, I don't really need to be in an air conditioner. I just know that if I'm in bed, I just need the room to be dark. I just need the fan pointed at me. And I know I had to keep my ass still. So not moving around and all that stuff. I'd stay still. And then eventually like my body will get cool and I'll be comfortable and all that. But no, he was like, oh, somebody at my job is selling an air conditioner. Do you want me to bring it to you? He's like, do you want me to buy it for you? And I was like, oh my God. Like, I was like, but how are you going to get it? He was like, I'll ride my bike and I'll bring it to you. I was like, what? And I was like, why am I going to like say no to an air conditioner? He wants to do this for me. He thought about me. I was like, okay, you can do that. And then the next morning, like around 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, he comes with the air conditioner on his bike. And he gives me my air conditioner. I'm like, come on. I mean, but I know there are guys that are narcissistic that will do, but he wasn't narcissistic at all. No. I think he was just a little immature, and his religion, his culture, their belief system, it kind of like was what made us incompatible, but he was a good person. He was a very good person. Now that I see things different, I'm like, I don't want to go back with him. Definitely no. No. We're incompatible. But it's just like, sometimes people do things that are nice and then it's like I said, hindsight is 20/20. But definitely do not want to go back with him. No. But I'll admit, I feel like I taught him a lesson. I think I was his karmic. I really do, because I noticed certain things that people were doing around him. And he was one that he didn't really speak up, And I think I was somebody that probably pushed him, I hope he learned some sort of lesson from me, because I'm not trying to make myself a savior or a martyr or anything, but I'm admitting that I was a karmic. I was definitely a karmic, because he was from a totally different culture, but then he thought that I would fall in line, and I didn't fall in line. No, I don't fall in line. Sorry, I'm like going off a tangent. Okay, I have the Divine Timing Unveil deck. In some way, I think we could be karmics to people, I think we could be karmics. It's like I was talking about the female sociopath, even though I feel like she's a karmic to anybody who likes to hurt people. Because when they come to her, she gets them back. Oh, she's so funny. It's okay, Anna. Okay, let's see. I wish your friend luck with his biopsy, Anna. Hope all goes well for him. Hope he's clear. Free and clear. Okay. Let's see. Ooh. What time is it? Okay. Pretty soon I'm gonna have to, like, okay. Okay. You know what? No. I'm gonna go into Archangel Michael messages and then I'm gonna end this reading. Okay. What Archangel Michael messages is a collective between at this time? What Archangel Michael messages? Ooh. This card came out. Your prayers are being answered. Let me see. Your prayers are being received by the divine. Answers will come soon, although perhaps in forms you didn't expect. That's number 42. Why am I going to say 5? 42. Ooh. Trust in divine purpose. This experience has divine meaning. Healing will come. Know that you are on a path of growth. One more. The color blue is really standing out on both cards because you have blue butterflies. Look, and this card has a blue butterfly too. I want to check about change is coming. I'm here to guide you through this exciting transformation. This is a time of joyous opportunities. So change is coming. Trust in divine purpose. Your prayers are being answered. Some of you may have been praying for changes to be made. And look, too, angels of healing are with you. A time of healing is about to bless your life. Accept Archangel Raphael's emerald green strength. Oh, sorry. Emerald green light while I enhance your strength. Number 2. All right. 42, your prayers are being answered. And the forgetting of oneness with Source that accompanies your earthly incarnation, it can be easy to fall into the belief that your prayers are unheard or unanswered. My darling child, this is simply not true. It is never true. I and all of the other angels have deep compassion for you, laboring under this misconception. What may be true is that you are not getting the answer you expected, so you do not recognize it as an answered prayer. A different path to joy than the one you envisioned may be in progress for you. Or perhaps you are distracted by life in such a way that you don't even realize that you're being spoken to by heaven. In the human experience, the timing of an unanswered prayer can also be, in the human experience, the timing of an answered prayer can also be confusing. You are impatient and you want the answers to your prayers now, but sometimes waiting for the right moment to receive the answer is as much a part of the process as the answer itself. Use this affirmation. Every single prayer is being answered in perfect timing. Ask your angels, your guardian angels, and me to help amplify the answer to your prayer so that it is clearly heard, and we will happily do so. You can also ask me for the patience necessary to keep up your faith when the timing of the answer is challenging. You know, sometimes you can be distracted because you could be stressed, you could be worried, overwhelmed, anxious, and you're missing the signs. But it's important for you to maintain faith. Know that every prayer that you're putting out is going to be answered in the time it's meant to be. You know, it's about maintaining faith, belief, hope, and having trust that all will be well. Now, 34. And this kind of goes and goes with your prayers are being answered. Trust in the divine purpose. You know, sometimes things happen when they're supposed to happen and how they're supposed to happen. The reason. Dear darling child, I know that you have experienced emotional wounds during this human experience. It is my intention to help soothe your heart as you recover from these challenges. Source is pouring pure white light of healing down upon you to help you come to a place of peace as quickly as possible. It will take a little time, but there is no doubt that you will heal. I know that you are confused. I realize that you're fearful, anxious, sad, or even heartbroken, but I'm asking you to trust me. There's a reason for what you're going through. There is meaning in this experience. It may take a while for you to understand why this has happened to you. This has to happen now, but that time will come. It will. One day you will see the divine purpose underlying your growth as a soul in human form. You will suddenly connect the dots and the aha moment will arrive. And when you do see the light, you'll realize that it was all divinely orchestrated to take you to the next step of your dreams coming true and real joy coming into your life. Maybe you can see that right now, maybe you already get it and you're putting your faith into positive action. If you are, then good for you, because your faith is needed and being rewarded, and is indeed being rewarded. But if you're struggling right now, then again, I ask you to trust me. Reach out to friends and family for comfort. Allow yourself to experience the emotions you're having. Be open to the loving care of professional counselors if the need arises. This will all work out. It will be okay. I am here now and until the day comes when it will all make sense. So that the 42, your prayers are being answered and trust in divine purpose, perfectly aligning. But like I said, some of you could be asking for change, you know, or it's necessary for some sort of change to come in too, because 7 change is coming. It is a source of unending curiosity to us in the angelic realm that so many humans are unhappy in their current life situation, while simultaneously being afraid to change. Your guardian angels and I have to prod and push and nudge to get you to give up even the things you desperately do not want in order to allow for happier things to come in. This is sometimes the underlying purpose of a situation that progressively gets more and more unpleasant for you. The universe needs to make you so uncomfortable that you finally take those steps toward joy. Oh my God, that is so fucking true. Because it's like something kept happening and it's just like getting worse and worse and worse. And it's like I said earlier, the breaking point. Some of you have reached a breaking point and you're like, I can't take this shit anymore. You know, I want to be at peace. I want peace. This isn't bringing me peace. This is disturbing my peace. Whew. Okay. Here's the truth. Change is coming. It just is. You can fight it and make the process challenging, or you can embrace it. You can live in the fear of it, or you can have faith that the divine loves you, loves every little thing about you, and only wants you to be happy, because that is also the truth. I love you. Your guardian angels love you, and Source is just crazy about you. Around you is a rainbow of opportunities to grow and find happiness. I'm here to help. I won't let you fall. It's going to be great. Let's do this. So this is about working and like conspiring with the universe, divine, God, you know, not trying to fight it. Some of you, like, you already know that there's certain changes that need to be made, but it's just like very difficult because you're so used to being in whatever you're in, you know, whatever. You could be used to the stress, the anxiety, because when you are in peace, it's too boring. It's too quiet for you, you know, and even lonely, you know. But the thing is, it's like that space, that void, it's what's allowing something better for you to better and better for you to receive. You know, you have that space to allow something good in, something better in. So some of you could have been in situations like I mentioned me, and this happened like a couple of months ago, but it was like kept getting worse. Like things kept happening, and then I was like, oh my God, like I got to get the fuck out of this situation, you know, or I have to let this go. It was more like I have to let this go because it's causing more harm than good for me. But the thing is, it's like once you start to release, start to allow yourself to go through the motions, allow yourself to go through the transition of leaving behind what hasn't been serving you into allowing yourself to enter the unknown where you don't know what's going to happen, and but something good can happen. That's where you have to have faith, where you have to have trust yourself that you're making the right decision, because you don't want to keep staying in a situation that is just, it's mentally, emotionally, and physically draining to you, you know. The last card we have is the angels of healing are with you. You know, as you're going through these changes, as you're going through, like you're praying and you're waiting for your prayers to be answered, and remembering to continue to remembering to have faith, continuing to have faith, trusting in that things are happening the way they're meant to. Even though you may not understand it, but it's like the answer is going to come along. And maybe that's what some of you are praying for, like the answer to understand, like why did this happen? Why did things go the way they did? You know, why couldn't I get that job? Why couldn't I get that promotion? Why couldn't I get that person? You know, all that stuff, all those questions, they're going to be, the change is going to be the answer. The change you're allowing, that you're transitioning into a new phase, a level up, ascension, or just entering the unknown and just being open and curious. Because I think when we're going through changes, we have to be curious, not only about what we anticipate seeing, but we shouldn't anticipate anything. We should just be like aware of ourselves, you know, like how are you feeling in this changes? You know, how does this change feel? You know, does it feel good? Does it feel uncomfortable? Why is it uncomfortable? Is it because it's different? It's unfamiliar, it's different from what you've experienced in the past, you know, which is completely normal. You know, like when you're going through something different, like you're going to a new job, you're meeting new people, you got new responsibilities, you have to work in a new environment. You're not gonna be like, oh yeah, like you're gonna fit in. No, it's a transition. You have to like, you gotta sense, you gotta feel the experience, you know, and it's gonna feel different. It's gonna feel awkward. It's gonna feel weird until you find your footing, you find your place, you know. And it's not like you fitting into whatever it is, but it's you knowing why you're where you are, what your purpose is where you are, you know. Not you trying to assimilate to a culture, but more like knowing the reason why you're in that space, you know, because there's a reason for everything, you know. And I'm sorry, I say, you know, a lot, a lot. I don't know who says alert. I'm sorry. It must be like a Puerto Rican thing or a Bronx thing. I don't know. But I say it a lot. I remember I used to watch Jennifer Lopez interviews, and she would say it a lot. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she says, you know, a lot, you know. And then now I find myself here doing the same thing decades later. But let me read the angels of healing are with you. Number 2. Let me get the card up. So it's Archangel Raphael with Archangel Michael. All right. Let me see. This has 2 pages. All right. So there's 2 messages. There's one for Archangel Michael. At this moment, I ask that you open yourself to healing. With your consent, I now use my sword of light to remove your energetic connections to the past and present that no longer serve you, especially those keeping you in place of disease, injury, or addiction. The way things have been does not dictate the way they will be in the future. I'm severing your connections to any negative stories that may have formed in your mind to sow doubt that you will heal, or fear that you will not get the care you need. I don't know, that water kind of distracted me. Let me reread that part. The way things have been does not dictate the way they will be in the future. Oh my God, you see the distractions? I'm severing your connections to any negative stories that may have formed in your mind to sow doubt that you will heal, or fear that you will not get the care you need. Have confidence that you will get better. I urge you now to call on my brother, Archangel Raphael, to help you. Raphael, this is Raphael's message. He is the healing angel. It is my honor to shine my emerald green rays of healing light down upon you. This light envelops your aura and begins the healing process related to any physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual experiences that have led to your current challenges. I am also creating a beacon to attract the perfect health professionals to your path so that you get the help that's just right for you. Be open to different methods of healing, get second opinions or more until you find what you need. Remember, the green can be related to the concept of abundance. So this green light helps bring in what you need to pay for your care, whether that be money, insurance, or assistance from others. Call upon me day or at night every day, and I will continue to intensify this light of healing around you. Believe in your recovery as we believe in you in heaven. Okay, so I hope that message was helpful to you all, and it reached you and provided you some sort of clarity or confirmation, something to look hope for, or at least know who to pray to. You know, Archangel Michael to help sever cords, help protect you from negative energies, anything that could be taken from you that no longer serves you. Archangel Raphael for healing. And the healing, remember, is not only like the physical, like when you're ill, when you're feeling sick, or, you know, those types of ailments. It could be also the stuff that you have in your mind. It could be that lack of mindset, the lack of faith in yourself or belief in yourself. It could be anything that could be harming you, you know, because we could be harmed in so many different ways. It could be harmed mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. So however those messages resonate, I hope they do in the best way. If you haven't watched the beginning of the reading, I did touch on something about medical, like something having, you know, like trying different treatments, trying different things, but then now you're reaching a point where you need to do something. And the only reason why I'm bringing that up now is because of the Archangel Raphael message about different treatments. And this, if that resonates with you, if there's something going on medically, I would suggest you go back to that reading too, to see if there's an answer for you or a message for you. I'm going to be ending this live stream. I thank you all so much for being here, allowing me to read for you. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are, and you continue to stay safe, that you stay healthy, that you stay hopeful, and you also stay kind to yourself. That's the most important thing, you know. So I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, everyone. Bye.